This is the third instructional video for the Dance Beat project. And in this video, we're going to replace a clip in a fast and easy way. And we're also going to work with adjustment layers. So let's get started with that. Here is what our screen looks like right now. We put in all the clips. And let's say I am kind of reviewing the clips, and I notice here I have one woman, and I have a third one. And I just say to myself, wow, maybe instead of 3 women in a row, I need to break it up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of highlight this. I can't highlight it. You know why? Because it's not unlocked. So I'm going to lock V2, I'm going to unlock V1, and I'm going to highlight this. So I'm going to change that clip. I'm going to look for something different. So I'm going to go over here to my project window, and I'm going to double click on video. So I see all of my video. And then I have this blue line around this box. So I'm going to go use the tilde so that I can see all of what's in this window. Okay, so I see them all. And over here, Dance DD, I see a child with a robot. So that will certainly add some variety. So I'm not going to select it. I'm going to double click on it, because if I double click on it, it will go into the source window. So let me do that. I'm going to double click it. It's in the source window. Awesome. I'm going to come back down here to the timeline window, and I've clicked on my up here so that my timeline window is selected. And then I'm going to click on my clip. Okay. And then I'm going to go up here to clip, and I'm going to say replace with clip from source monitor. And then it's switched, just switched out. It's between these two markers. It's perfect. So I can kind of look at it a little bit. There's no gaps, and I can say, great, I've just replaced that clip. That's great. All right, so I'd like to see my whole timeline. So I'm going to use that backslash that's under the delete and the backspace button so that I can see my whole thing here. Okay, so I'm going to lock up all of my V1, V2, V3. I have A1 locked up. And I'm going to add an adjustment layer. So I need another video track up on top of here. So I'm going to go next to V3 in the black space, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to say add a track. Okay. So V4 is added and it's unlocked, which is great. Okay. All right. So let's go back to my project window in the left-hand side. I'm going to go back to my project window that has the video and has the Dance to Beat music in it. And I'm going to put my layer here. I'm going to deselect it because I don't want it to go into my video folder. And I'm going to come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to click on New Item, Adjustment Layer. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and accept everything that's in the dialog box, and here's my adjustment layer. Okay, so what I want to do is drag the adjustment layer at the very beginning and at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over till it's here in V4, and I'm going to drag it over here until it's not over the very last one, but it's over those fast beat clips here. Okay. So let's start here. I'm going to go to the very beginning here, and I want to see this a little bit better. So I'm going to keep pressing on the plus button till I see that. And I can see this is too long. I only want it to cover these different ones here. So I am going to go up to my final marker, the last marker of this beginning fast beat section. And then I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to use Control K to cut it. And then I'm going to delete that last part. Okay. I'm going to go to the very first marker button, and I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to do Control K because I want to get rid of the part of the adjustment layer that shows up before everything else. I'm going to delete that. Now, I actually want to cut this adjustment layer where every clip is cut. And the reason I want to do that is that I'm going to do something slightly different with each of them. So I could kind of click on these different markers, but instead I'm going to use a shortcut. I'm going to do Shift M, which shifts to the next marker. I'm going to highlight the clip. I'm going to do Control K to cut. Then I'm going to do Shift M, click, Control K to cut, Shift M, Control K to cut. Oh, you know what? I did not do that well. Control K. Okay. So I now have this section cut into 4 pieces, and I'm going to make each piece a different color. The first one, okay? This is what it looks like currently, okay? I am going to, in my project window, go search for effects. This is cool because if you go to effects here, there is a search box. In my search box, I'm going to put in tint. There is tint there. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to drag tint over all of these 4 clips. So it'll apply to all 4. But right now, none of them are selected. So there's lots of ways to do that. I could hold down the control button and click on each one. You know, I could do that. I mean, actually, I'd have to hold down the shift button and hold each one. But for me, one of the easiest ways to do is just to draw a box over them so that they're all highlighted. Okay. So I'm going to go into my tint in my effects box, and I'm going to left click on that icon and drag it over. You can see that it kind of changes. Okay. And so I've done that, and I want to show you something. Down here, this all says FX now. Effects. So something has been applied to those. Okay. So now let me make every color a little bit different. And so I am now going to, I'm going to right here, click on this. Okay. And then I've got tint down here, and I'm going to go up to my source window and click on effect controls. Okay. And I'm going to go up a little bit until I see tint here. And tint here, down here, it says map white to a color and map black to black. Okay. So that turned, right now the default with tint is to turn my clip into black and white because everything, you know, it just changed everything from black to white. So now what I want to do is I want to make everything that is black in this picture a different color. Okay. So, so instead of it saying map to black, which is here, I'm going to, in this dialog box, I'm going to click on the black, and this color picker shows up. So I'm going to click onto this kind of purplish, maybe this, and then over here, I'm going to click on this, and then I have to click OK, and that's what it looks like now. So I'm not done. I'm coming up here, opacity in my upper left source window box. Opacity, there's a blend mode, and I'm going to go down to hard light. Okay, so that makes it pop a little bit more. Okay, so that's a purplish color. Now I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm going to change my tint color. So where it says matte black to, I'm going to click on that black. I think I'm going to make this greenish. Make it here, go here, very green. And then I'm going to go to my blend mode under opacity, and I'm going to make that hard light. Okay. And I'm go to my next clip, and I'm going to head over here to my tint. And I'm going to map black to a bluish color. Okay. And then my blend mode is going to be hard light. And then I have just one more to go. So I have pink, green, blue. Maybe this one's going to be a little orangish. Go back over here to my tint. Slide it there. Going to do orange, orange. Okay. And then I'm going to do opacity blend mode, hard light. Okay. So that's just kind of a cool effect that I just added just to the beginning. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So that was our very last shot, remember, is that foot coming, that sneaker kind of coming up towards the camera, towards the viewer, okay? And this is very kind of blue. It's certainly nighttime. So I'm going to make those fast clips that are right before this very final clip. I'm going to apply a different adjustment layer to them so that they look like, so it looks similar. Okay, so the transition will be a little easier. Okay, so my timeline is kind of, I'm really zoomed in right now. And so I see my whole timeline. I'm going to use that backslash key under the delete and backspace button. Okay. And one thing that I'm going to do is I want to get rid of the adjustment layers that I want to get rid of. Actually, I need to probably zoom in a little bit on this. I want my adjustment layer to start when these final quick clips start. So I've done that by clicking on that marker. I'm going to click on my adjustment layer and I'm going to do Control K. I'm going to delete that section. Okay. Now this time I'm not going to cut the adjustment layers where the clips are, because what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the same thing to all of the clips. Okay. So I'm going to click on that on my clip in the timeline. And then I'm going to add in my left hand, my lower left hand project window. I'm going to put something else in my search bar. So I'm going to click on the X so that my search bar is empty. And this is what I'm going to type into this. I'm going to type in SL space blue space day. Okay, day 4. Okay. So all of these things come up. I'm going to use the slider bar to go down to the universal one. And underneath here is SL Blue Day for Night Universal. And I'm going to click on the icon and drag it over to the clip. And remember, I have highlighted the clip. So I'm going to drag it over to this adjustment layer. Okay, I just dragged it over and let go. And so now that adjustment layer is on all of these clips that are below the adjustment layer. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it all looks like night. Okay, so we are now done with this project. I'm going to go ahead and lock all of my different tracks. And to save this, I'm going to Control S. And then I'm going to export it. So I could go into File, Export. down to here. And then I'm going to media. And then I'm making sure that my file name is correct. And then I need to make my location correct. And I do not have my location where I need it to be. So I'm going to go to desktop. I'm going to go down to Dance Beat. And this is where that's going. I want to make sure this is H264. I kind of double click everything that I'm doing. And then in the lower right-hand corner, I click on export. Okay. Takes a while because this is a complicated project. And I am now done. And so are you.